From the New York Times. A look inside Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan lair. In his 7-story townhouse, the sex offender hosted the elite, displayed photos with presidents, and showcased a first edition of Lolita, according to previously unreported photos and letters. That's great, man. Here we have like a bronze statue of a bride clinging to a rope. That's cool. As a gift for Jeffrey Epstein's 63rd birthday, friends sent letters in tribute to the wealthy financier and convicted sex offender. Several shared a common theme, recounting the dinner gatherings that Mr. Epstein regularly hosted at his palatial townhouse on Manhattan's Upper East Side. Ehud Barak, former Prime Minister of Israel, and his wife noted the great diversity of guests. "There is no limit to your curiosity," they wrote in their message, which was compiled with others in January 2016. "You are like a closed book to many of them, but you know everything about everyone." The media mogul Mortimer Zuckerman suggested ingredients for a meal that would reflect the culture of the mansion. A simple salad and whatever else, quote, would enhance Jeffrey's sexual performance. And the director Woody Allen described how the dinners reminded him of Dracula's castle, where Lugosi had 3 young female vampires who serviced the place. Oh, here's a letter from Woody Allen. From Epstein's 63rd birthday in 2016. Why so many letters? Power brokering. But Mr. Epstein's prized property was no gloomy Transylvanian fortress. He had spent years turning the 7-story, 21,000-square-foot townhouse into a place where he could flaunt and deepen his connections to the rich and powerful, even as hints of his dark side lurked within, according to previously undisclosed photos and documents showing how he lived in his later years. Since Mr. Epstein's death in federal custody in 2019, which was ruled a suicide, many mysteries about his life have remained unresolved. How did he amass a 9-figure fortune? And why did so many powerful men continue to fraternize with him long after he became a registered sex offender? The White House had pledged to release details about the federal investigations into Mr. Epstein and his associations. But this summer, the Trump administration backpedaled. The ensuing right-wing outrage has threatened to splinter the MAGA movement, for whom Mr. Epstein is a central figure in conspiracy theories, and has put Mr. Trump on the defensive like few other issues. Seeking to quell the backlash, the Justice Department dispatched a top official to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell, Mr. Epstein's longtime associate who was serving a 20-year prison sentence for sex trafficking. On Friday, Miss Maxwell was moved to a lower security facility. That fueled speculation that Mr. Trump might commute her sentence or even pardon her in return for her cooperation. For years, Miss Maxwell was a figure in Mr. Epstein's New York townhouse where she had an office, but she and Mr. Epstein had split by the mid-2010s. A framed photo in the townhouse showing Mr. Epstein with Mr. Trump and his then-girlfriend, Melania Knauss, was cropped to exclude Miss Maxwell. Ooh. Ghislaine Maxwell. At least one other MAGA luminary also visited the townhouse, Stephen K. Bannon, former advisor to Trump and online media personality, who has said he videotaped hours of interviews in the mansion with Mr. Epstein in 2019. Framed photos of Mr. Bannon, including a mirror selfie snapped by Mr. Epstein, were kept in at least 2 rooms of the mansion. The townhouse was one of 5 properties around the world owned by Mr. Epstein. After his release in 2009 from a Florida jail, where he served 13 months for soliciting prostitution from a teenager, the mansion served as both a personal hideaway and a salon, where he could hold court with accomplished intellectuals, scientists, and financiers, according to legal records and interviews with people who frequented the home. The visitors considered Mr. Epstein fun, smart, and curious. Oh, I bet. Another perk, getting to mingle with the young, attractive women who roamed the property and worked as his assistants. The townhouse, a stone's throw from Central Park, was sold to Mr. Epstein in 1998 by Leslie H. Wexner, the billionaire owner of L Brands. I only frequent W Brands myself. Mr. Epstein renovated and redecorated the mansion in an eccentric style. Dozens of framed prosthetic eyeballs lined the entryway. A sculpture of a woman wearing a bridal gown and clutching a rope was suspended in a central atrium. In the ground floor dining room, Mr. Epstein entertained a rotating cast of celebrities, academics, politicians, and businessmen. The food could be mundane, sometimes nothing more than a buffet of Chinese takeout, Mr. Allen's letter noted, but the events were anything but. Photos show that guests sat in leopard print chairs around a large... Oh, does somebody have an archive of this article? I can't see the pictures the way I did it. Photos show the guests sat in leopard print chairs around a large rectangular table. Occasionally, attendees said in interviews a magician performed. Jesus. Sometimes a chalkboard was wheeled out so a guest could sketch a diagram or write a mathematical formula. Epstein preserved A map of Israel drawn on a chalkboard with Mr. Barak's signature, according to a photo reviewed by the New York Times. Incredible. We'll get to the photos when we have them. Photos show a credenza crowded with framed snapshots flaunting Mr. Epstein's connections to some of the world's most recognizable people. Look at all these photos. Photos show a credenza crowded with framed snapshots flaunting Mr. Epstein's connections to some of the world's most recognizable people. Pope John Paul II, Mick Jagger, Elon Musk. I didn't know he was photographed with Epstein. And Fidel Castro. That's funny. Bill Clinton, Richard Branson, Larry Summers. Not terribly surprising there. Trump and the future First Lady, minus Miss Maxwell, who was cut out of the frame here because they had a messy breakup. You know how it is. Dude, power brokering has to be exhausting. Your entire life and career are just like taking photos with people, you know? Next to that was a framed dollar bill signed by Bill Gates, possibly as payment of a bet. I was wrong, the Microsoft co-founder wrote over George Washington's face. Up a grand staircase was Mr. Epstein's wood-paneled office, featuring a massive desk. Photos show a taxidermied tiger lounging on a lush rug. Oh, here's him with Saudi Arabia's crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman. In the office, according to photos reviewed by The Times, Mr. Epstein showcased a green first edition of Lolita, the 1955 novel in which an intellectual develops a sexual obsession with a 12-year-old girl and repeatedly rapes her. Yep, that's what happens in the novel. Kind of on the nose. I mean, he called his plane the Lolita Express. So, yeah. Atop a wooden sideboard were more framed photos, including one of Epstein with Mohammed bin Salman. This is very Little St. James coded. Another flight up on the third floor was Mr. Epstein's sanctum, a suite that included his bedroom, the mansion's infamous massage room, and a cluster of bathrooms. Mounted in a corner above his bed was a surveillance camera. Okay, yep. Oh, yep, another one. A second camera can be seen in an adjoining room, obviously, yeah. Several of Epstein's victims have said the mansion was outfitted with a network of hidden video cameras. In the massage room were paintings of naked women, a large silver ball and chain, and shelves stocked with lubricant, according to photos reviewed by The Times. Mr. Epstein regularly directed teenage girls, some recruited from middle schools in Queens, to massage him while he was naked. Sometimes he masturbated in front of them, according to court records and interviews with victims. Sometimes he raped or assaulted them. Yeah, it sounds like Epstein stuff. No surveillance cameras were visible in the photos of the massage room. Makes sense. An earlier collection of letters presented to Mr. Epstein in a leather-bound album for his 50th birthday in 2003 reflected an era of his life before he was first arrested. That book included contributions from Trump and Clinton, among dozens of others, the Wall Street Journal reported. Trump has denied a report in the Journal saying he contributed a sexually suggestive note and drawing. He has sued the news organization for defamation. Mr. Clinton's spokesman has said the former president was unaware of Mr. Epstein's crimes. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Would Epstein have left New York if he got taxed as an extra 2%? That's a good question. I think Cuomo should pitch that one, you know? He should be like, if we raise taxes on the 1% as Mamdani suggests, would illustrious residents of New York City, such as Mr. Epstein, have stayed? We can only speculate, but I assume he wouldn't have. But by 2016, as Mr. Epstein's reputation as a sexual predator became increasingly hard to ignore. Again, do not buy this timeline. Everybody who knew about and met with Epstein at any point from the 90s at least and onward knew he was a sex trafficker. There is absolutely no, you would not assume, like, if a guy went to court and it found out that he had been like abusing his daughter for years and years and years, you would not then assume that everyone in that family found out about it the day the conviction was ruled in court. Like, obviously everyone knew. So Clinton definitely raped children on Epstein Island? Yeah, obviously. Of course he did. His social network was shrinking. 3 years later, he would die in a Manhattan jail while awaiting prosecution on federal sex trafficking charges. I've heard about that. Oh, there's the taxidermy tiger in the carpet. The Times reviewed 7 birthday messages given to Mr. Epstein in 2016. In addition to those from Mr. Zuckerman, Mr. Allen, and Mr. Barak, there were letters from the linguist Noam Chomsky and his wife, Joichi Ito, an entrepreneur who years later would resign from MIT and the board of the New York Times Company because of his ties to Mr. Epstein, and Lawrence M. Krauss, a prominent physicist. Martin Nowak, a Harvard biologist, contributed a science-themed poem. Nerd. Mr. Zuckerman, Allen, Ito, Dr. Nowak, and Mr. Bannon did not respond to requests for comment. Mr. Barak declined to comment. Dr. Chomsky's wife responded on his behalf and declined to comment. Dr. Krauss said he didn't recall the letter but attended, quote, several lunches with very interesting discussions with scientists, authors, and others at Mr. Epstein's home. In their typed letter, Mr. Barack and his wife, Neely Priel, hailed Mr. Epstein as a collector of people. The letter concluded, "May you enjoy long and healthy life, and may all of us, your friends, enjoy your table for many more years to come." Phenomenal stuff. It's so creepy. Like, do they think they are coy? I mean, they're the most powerful people in the world, and they're openly, like, accomplices in a pedophile sex trafficking network. They're immune to consequences, right? I mean, obviously they would get arrogant over time. They are weirdos. Literally like mythical demons type shit. They're just aristocrats. They're like literally aristocrats. The aristocratic class has been doing this for all of human history. All aristocrats want to do, all they want to do, lower taxes, build a gigantic mansion, and do pedophilia in the mansion. That's it. That's all they've wanted. For thousands of years, the aristocracy has wanted this and this alone. I'd argue more oligarchs, not aristocrats. Then you'd be wrong, because tons of these people are not oligarchs, but they are all aristocrats. No, we're talking about the aristocracy here. We're talking about people who occupy a distinct class and social-based position. You know? How bad do you think aristocrats were in the Gilded Age? Probably just like this. They were probably just like this, man. It's just getting harder and harder to get away with it in the modern day. Bill Gates should be launched into the sun. Can you have oligarchy without aristocrats? Yes, you don't know what these words mean. Shush.
Do you believe that she's credible to be listening to? Your deputy attorney general sat down with her recently.
Well, let me tell you, he's a very talented man. His name is Todd Blanche. He's a very legitimate person, very high.
Very legitimate.
I just a very highly thought of person, respected by everybody. And I didn't talk to him about it, but I will tell you that whatever he asked would be totally appropriate, and it's not an uncommon thing to do that. And I think he probably wants to make sure that, you know, people that should not be involved or aren't involved are not hurt by something that would be very, very unfortunate, very unfair to a lot of people. But I will say this, Todd Blanche is one of the most highly respected people you'll ever meet. So I know this. I didn't discuss it with him, but anything he talked about with her or the fact that he did that, not unusual, number one, and most importantly is something that would be totally above board.
Great. That's great. That's great. Apparently, Maxwell doesn't want the grand jury transcripts released, which, like, conveniently for her, they're probably not going to be. He gets so riled up over this. Again, like, my argument for Trump's behavior here is that Trump has been able to effortlessly lie about a million gaffes, fuck-ups, mistakes, whatever, because his base is full of idiots. He can take credit for all of it. His fan base is comprised mostly of people who aspire to his level of shameless evil and wish they could get away with it the way that he does. They think he's aspirational, but this is just a line that he can't cross. It frustrates him that for his entire life, he's been having sex with children, breaking the law in countless ways. You know, he's been living the life of a New York City real estate speculator aristocrat, and this is the one thing that he can't own up to. He can own up to everything else. He can own up to tax fraud. He can own up to bankruptcies. He can own up to abuse and so on, sexual assault. It just doesn't matter. But this is something he can't own up to, and it pisses him off. It pisses him off that, from his perspective, he's gotten away with it for his entire life. And now at like 80 years old, the twilight years of his life, second term of his presidency, not the first term, the second term of his presidency, now he has to be saddled with all this, because in his head he's thinking, yeah, obviously this was all happening. Who cares? Because he doesn't care. Of course he doesn't have a problem with him, kids.
Please. Yeah, and people don't want that. And people in Texas, as you saw, I got the highest vote in the attorney general. The governor wants him back. If you look, I mean, the governor of Texas is demanding they come back. So a lot of people are demanding they come back. You can't just sit it out. You have to. We're taking in so much money that we may very well make a dividend to the people of America. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Meaningless. I'm going to crash out if somehow he gets away with Epstein. Dude, he's already gotten away with it for like 35, 40, however many years. What do you mean? You think he's going to jail? You think Trump is ever going to see the inside of a jail cell?